Academy and creator of Crush It with Challenges. And the question I get asked the most these days is, Pedro, how did you go from a financial planner living in obscurity just 3 years ago to now leading one of the most dynamic movements, 100X?
So I went from a job that was a pretty good job but not fulfilling me to now doing what is so fulfilling. I am running my own business now. It is sustaining me income-wise.
At the end of the challenge, I pitched a coaching program, a $2,000 coaching program, and 25 people out of 150 people took the coaching offer and did a bootcamp with me for 2 months. And was a big success.
I don't care what you've tried before. I don't care where you've been. I don't care what you've listened to before. There's a lot of great teaching and training out there. What I can tell you is this. I never figured out how to be happy, fulfilled, how to end imposter syndrome, how to end the comparison trap. Stepping into leading the movement I was called to lead has had all those things melt away from me. And it's allowed me to cut through the noise of a very noisy world and get my message heard.
You know, I've been dreaming of this 2 Comma Club for years, you know, like you see the awards, you see everything, and I really tried so many things, but it wasn't until this challenge model that Pedro was teaching that really broke through. You know, it really helped us take this next level, scale it, and get in front of a lot of people and create a movement.
This is actually the perfect time to do this. There are so many people out there that need to make money from home. If I could share with them what I've done, maybe they could do the same thing. We advertised the challenge and it blew my mind. We had 13,000 people join the Facebook group. I was a little nervous. I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't love to be in front of people. Now I have 13,000 people I have to get in front of. Pedro, what did you do to me?
If you're ready for another level, don't learn through your own trial and error. If you're ready to do a challenge, don't just fumble with it. Get to work with Pedro. If anybody knows me, I endorse very few people, but I got the chance to meet Pedro. I know his depth of caring, and I know his depth of knowledge, and I know his depth of results. When you combine those three, you're ready to do a challenge, he's your guy.
500 people joined that challenge with no Facebook ads, with no funnel, with no following, with no email list. That challenge went on to do $3,000. $3,000, and I'm telling y'all, I'm being so honest, I had 3 things. I had a cell phone, I had a PayPal link, and I had a Facebook group. So since then, I've went on to do $20,000 in 12 days, and now I've done over $100,000.
We had 450 people join the challenge in just like 5 days, and we converted over 10% of people who were in the challenge into a $2,000 offer on the back of the challenge.
The results that I've seen have been so incredible, and I created about $600,000 in revenue over the course of the challenge plus the live event, etc. And so it was a $600+ launch, and I'm so excited that I get to live my purpose and my passion and support other people to allow their passion to come through them as well.
It's been a great model. We have found a whole tribe of people that we've stayed connected to because of the challenge model, and we're thrilled. Our life has changed. We're super happy about it.
You guys, those of you who are listening, you truly have someone who cares about you deeply and cares about your success and knows the path to get there.
Appreciate you and so proud of you, and just fun watching everything you've accomplished in such a short period of time. It's really, really inspiring, and I hope your people all realize how good of hands they're in with you as their leader. So you're awesome, man.
But guys, I'm telling you right now, who can you love? Because if you can love them deeper, harder than anyone else is willing to, you will win in that market, you will win in that niche, and you can actually be the leader and the #1 company, the #1 movement, the #1 movement-based business, because love will lead you into doing all the right things at the right times, and it is the #1 most unfair advantage you can have over anybody else, and that is to have a deep, heartfelt ability to love more and love deeper.
Good morning, everyone. How is it going? It is so good to see you guys. Welcome to the Movement Maker Challenge. Here we are on day 1. This is going to be amazing, so buckle up, get ready. I want to kick off by just welcoming you and saying congratulations for making an incredible decision to invest in yourself, to find out why you should become a movement maker. If you are just on right now, start tagging all of your friends who you know are in this challenge with you so that they can be present with you during this time. I'm going to keep myself really short so that you guys can get to the good stuff. Pedro will be on in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and add this to the screen. We made a little bit of a visual for you guys. You will see this is also posted in the guide section. Facebook changed it from units to guides. So you will notice this is in the guide section. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger for you guys to see. At the top of the group, you will notice there is the main discussion. That's what we call the news feed. That's where you're going to show up. You're going to do your homework. You're going to go live. You're going to introduce yourself. It's going to be amazing. It's where you're also going to see other people participating in the group. You will also see there's guides. As I mentioned, Facebook did change it from units to guides. That's where every day is going to be lined up. We have an awesome welcome unit for you guys there, full of frequently asked questions, lots of things you are asking. Previous people have asked. We have done 47 of these challenges in a row, and we have compiled all of the main questions. So you will find them there in the guide section as well as the replays. You have access to this content until the end of the challenge. So go in there, watch as many replays as you can. In the announcement section is where we will post anything that we think as a team is really valuable for you. There's lots of goodies in there, so make sure that you pay attention in there as well. And then the events. That's where we're going to post the events. You can click going. It'll add it to your calendar. Facebook's really cool that way, so make sure that you block the time, block the space for yourself. Also, here are the 3 things that you really want to make sure that you're part of. The Facebook community. Make sure you get inside the Facebook community. Once you register at movementmaker.com, it'll take you through the process of registering. Make sure you're here. The next thing is to text movement to the phone number 949-506-5866. So screenshot this right now. You can come back and do that later. And then the last thing is we have this really cool Gangsta Pete challenge lab for you guys. This is going to be where you're going to get live updates, homework, recap. There's going to be so much value in this. So make sure you go to crushitlab.com and get signed up for that. And then lastly, I just want to encourage you guys. You signed up to be here for a reason. And the way that you're going to get the most out of it is you're going to invite a friend to do this with you. You're going to go through this with an accountability buddy. You are going to go live. You're going to introduce yourself in the discussion newsfeed area. Go and interact on someone else's. Get to know a new friend. This is a great place. Pedro said it in our kickoff call, family, friendship, and fun. That's what we're all about. So make sure you go on there and just get to know people. It's really fun. And then last, if you have not upgraded to Backstage Pass, guys, that went like hotcakes. We already hit 1,000 people. Make sure that you go over to movementmaker.com/VIP 2021 and get in on the goodness. This is where Pedro and his trainers you don't even know the lineup of trainers. They're going to be in the Backstage Pass, and it's going to be fire. This is going to be the hands-on, the nitty-gritty. Those of you who are really wanting to go the extra mile and get that application and start applying this right away. So, you guys, are you ready? There's almost 2,000 of you on right now. Let's see if we can keep tagging people. Go ahead and start commenting right now. I'm ready for Pedro. I'm ready for the fire. I'm ready for day 1 movement maker. I'm here for me. I'm here to go all in on discovering why I should be a movement maker and how to do it. Let's see the comments light up, guys. This is your host for the challenge, Pedro Adeo, who is the challenge guy, the #1 sought after in his industry for marketing challenges, 47 profitable challenges, 8 figures, and not only 8 figures, that may seem a little high in the sky for some people, but this man, how many of you want a 7-figure business? This man has done it 3 times in just 3 years. In 1 year, he did it twice. Who's ready to learn from him? I know I am. I show up just as you are. I wouldn't ask you to do anything I won't do. So let's give it up for Pedro Adeo.
What's up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Holly, thank you so much for kicking this off. I was getting a few of the things set up over here. Everybody, what is up? Welcome to day one. Day one, the official start is finally here. It's finally here. Day one of the Movement Maker Challenge 2021 edition. Let's go. Congratulations on being here. I am so excited for you because what you're about to experience the next 5 days, I 100% believe and know will change your life if you open your mind, open your heart, and you're willing to apply the things I share. I am all about getting you transformation this week. I'm all about seeing you have breakthrough this week, and there's no transformation without application. So this week, we're going to be focusing a lot on not just new information, but we're going to be helping you take application right now during the challenge every single day. And there's no breakthrough without follow through. So guys, this week is where rubber hits the road. You're not just passively watching a webinar. You're not passively consuming content on YouTube. You're in a challenge. We call it a challenge for a reason. So expect to be challenged. And I'm going to ask your permission to be your coach and your mentor, a trainer, a leader, and say, Pedro, I give you permission to challenge me this week. I give you permission to push me this week. Pedro, I give you permission to say the hard things to me this week that maybe I need to hear this week. So I'm asking to grant me permission right now in the chat. Let me see right now. Just type in the word permission granted. Type in the words permission granted. So I know that I'm not here pushing myself on you. I don't ever want to coach people that don't give me permission to coach them. So I'm asking your permission to guide you, lead you, and help you do what I've done. Not once, not twice, but now 3 times. It's changed my life forever. It's changed my family line forever. The life that my kids and my grandkids and the greats are going to get to live has been changed forever because of me applying and discovering these skill sets, these frameworks. So I just want you to understand, like this, please don't treat this like just another thing that you've signed up for in the past. These next 5 days, I absolutely believe and know are going to be life-changing. I expect your life to be marked. My intention for this time is that there's your life before Movement Maker 2021, and it's your life after. This will be a defining point in your life. Pedro, how are you talking like this? Why are you so confident? How can you be so bold? Because I know exactly what happened last year. And you're going to get to meet from people last year. See, last year when I did this, we didn't have as much track record. We didn't have as much proof. I hadn't yet rolled out my framework. This challenge framework hadn't yet taken over the internet like it has now. This year, you're going to get to meet people who were here a year ago. And you're going to hear their challenge stories on how exactly what I'm saying happened for them. Everything in their life has changed since they applied these frameworks. So if you're ready to go, guys, I got a couple new things this year, had to level up my game. I got a really cool fancy whiteboard over here. You'll see that later. I got some little props. One of my favorite sayings is, it's easy. So
that was easy.
You might hear that a little bit during this challenge. And I also like to keep the energy up. So you might hear a little, just saying, you might hear that during this challenge. So, all right, guys, we love to have fun, but we're going to expect to learn a lot, grow a lot. And there's going to be things happening in your heart, in your mind, and with your hands all this week. So if you're ready to rock and roll, let's go. Tell me I'm ready. I'm ready. Put your favorite emoji in the chat. If it's fire, if it's hearts, if it's chocolate ice cream, poop emojis, whatever you want. Put whatever. I'm just playing. All right, guys, I'm going to get started and let's go. I want to share my screen. I'm going to share my screen. All right. All right, guys, you're here with me. Holly, can you make sure that we do a split screen on this? Hold on, give me confirmation that we got split screen going on, that I'm on screen as well.
We do. Yep.
Phenomenal. All right. Let's go. You made it. You're here. I don't know how you got here. Maybe you got an email from Pete Vargas. Maybe you got an email from Evan Pagan, or Ryan Dice, or one of the other, you know, incredible people, John Acuff, or so many of my friends and colleagues are helping me get the word out about this this challenge. We're going to have some incredible trainers over these next 5 days who are friends of mine, colleagues, and people I've also gleaned a lot from in this business of making movements. And right now, I'm going to ask you to change the business that you think you're in. Oh, Pedro, I'm in this business, I'm in that business. Well, the business that we're all in is the business of transformation, the business of getting people results. And I'm going to tell you right now, in 2021, the best way to grow that business is to be in the business of movement making. And I'm going to show you guys how we do that this week. And I've got some friends to help me do that. So here we go. All right, guys. Those of you guys that I might be new to, my name is Pedro Adeo. Yes, I have a lot of energy. No, I have not had 18 shots of espresso. This is just how I roll. And I love what I do. I feel so blessed and grateful to get to wake up every morning doing exactly what I want to do with my life right now. We have been blessed in the last 3 years. Literally was a financial planner living in obscurity, running just a very simple financial services company in Northern California, not at all online, completely unknown in the internet world. And in just a few short years, we've been able to do some really cool things. And all that means for you is that you're learning from someone with real experience who's really been there and done it, and not someone who's just kind of read a few books about it, watched some YouTube videos, and now is trying to teach you something that they know in theory, but have not yet done. And I'm encouraging you right now, as there's more and more and more people coming online to teach and share their wisdom, I'm gonna encourage you, when you pick your mentors and trainers, pick people that have real authority in the topics they're talking about. Pick people. I would never want to take marriage advice from someone who is struggling in their marriage and has maybe, you know, gone, you know, I would want to learn from people who are the best at what they do, who have clear-cut results, that they know exactly what they're talking about. And so all of my success in getting to 8 figures in just second full year online, and crushing 47 challenges and all this stuff, helping thousands, that's just so you know, okay, I'm in the right place. You know, I can trust Pedro as it relates to his training around marketing and movements and challenges. Clearly, he knows what he's talking about. And whether you love my energy, don't like the energy, maybe, you know, there's things about my personality that you're going to see roll out this week. You're like, I can leave that. But listen, hey, take what serves you and then leave what doesn't. So I'm here to serve you guys this week, and my team is here. I am the #1 go-to challenge expert. We have an 8-figure plus business, founder of 100X Academy, and creator and crusher with challenges. But now I want to also introduce you to another coach and mentor who you're going to get to meet this week. And this is the way cooler coach and mentor. His name is Gangsta Pete. Let me just see. I got to pull up Facebook now to see what people are saying in the chat right now. Can we have some love for Gangsta Pete? Pedro, what is this? Like, you look like an idiot. I know. But hey, I said we're going to have some fun, right? So who is Gangsta Pete? And I have to give credit where credit is due. I got this idea. I'll tell you that in a second. But Gangsta Pete not only has a fresh fly chain, not only does he have a iced out grill, but Gangsta Pete is going to be your mindset coach and your cut the crap coach. Gangsta Pete shows up when it's time for some real talk and some very direct coaching and feedback, and a little bit of just maybe a little bit of muscle to blast out some limiting beliefs, some mindsets. Gangsta Pete loves to evict and loves to blast out things that are keeping you stuck in your current situation. And if we can just be real honest right now, if we can just be really transparent with each other, I'm going to imagine that you just didn't have an extra hour or two in your day this week, and you're kind of just popping in here to check this thing out. I'm going to have to assume that if you're here making an hour a day to be with us live and consume this content, be part of this challenge, is because you are not happy with where you are. You're saying, well, Pedro, I'm content. I believe in contentment. And yet you're here because you want to become more, do more, achieve more, and grow and level up. Is that true? Who's here to go higher? Type in the chat right now, I want to go higher, 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 higher. Well, then here's the reality. For you to be more, do more, achieve more, it's going to require you to start thinking differently, acting differently. And there's some mindsets. There's these things that want to hinder us. There's these beliefs, mindsets, habits. There's things that want to hold us back, hold us down. Gangster P's job is to get gangster on those things. Gangster P is a great guy. He has a great heart. Gangster P never wants to offend you personally, but Gangster P is very willing to offend anything holding you back, keeping you living small, and keeping you from living your best life. So who's going to give Gangsta P some permission? I got to see what's going on Facebook right now. I got to see what's happening here in the Facebook group. Holly, I got to pull this up real quick. Tell me what's happening in the comments. Who's going to give permission? Who is going to give permission for Gangsta P to do a little training with them this week? Let's see. Let's see. All right. So here we go. Okay, guys, we have an amazing prize package for you guys real quick. A couple of you are going to win my Crush It With Challenges signature program, the absolute best in class comprehensive training program for all things challenges. We're going to give that away to a couple of you guys. Some of you guys, one of you guys is going to win a challenge workshop, 2-day workshop. And then we've got like an hour consulting with me. We got this really cool digital whiteboard, iPhone, all things you need to crush challenge at a big level. So make sure you're part at movementmaker.com. Make sure you're registered there because that is where we're going to know that you're officially in this challenge. You want to text me movement to that number right there. So we got you on our text list so we can make sure that you are always in the know. We're going to have surprise guest trainers. Well, Pedro, why the surprise? Because I'm going to be, I'm actually, this challenge is my first coast to coast challenge. Pedro, what does that mean? Well, I live in California in Orange County. And so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this challenge will be done here from my home studio in Orange County. But on Wednesday, I'm flying to Palm Beach, Florida to be with some people you may have heard of before. Like there's a guy named Tony Robbins. Maybe you've heard of him. There's a guy named Dean Graziosi. Maybe you've heard of them. We're going to go spend, me and a handful of other entrepreneurs are going to get to spend 3 or 4 days masterminding with Dean, Tony, and some incredible entrepreneurs. And I'm going to bring them to you live, but I don't know exactly when yet. So you got to be on that text ring to not miss that content. You got to be in the Facebook group, guys. The Movement Maker Facebook group is where the party's happening. And then you want to do your assignments because, again, without the application, there's no transformation. So housekeeping, you're going to be challenged. Please be here authentically. You don't have to fake the funk in here. This is not a place for you have to come and brag and try and flex and how awesome you are. Guys, be here humble. Be here as a student. Be here to connect and make just real relationships. I believe that the best culture that I enjoy creating in our movements and with the work that we do is around family, friendship, and fun. So know that that's what we're looking to cultivate here for you guys. You are not an outsider. You belong here. You're part of this family. You're part of our movement making family. So just feel at home here and let's go. Let's go. And please, guys, be respectful of our community guidelines. Please don't turn this group into a pitch fest. Please don't be sliding into DMs. This is not a networking group. This is not a networking Facebook group. This is a Facebook group of like-minded entrepreneurs and leaders who want to learn this most powerful skill set of movement making and crushing challenges. And that's why everyone is here. All right. So with that, here we go. Here we go. I've already started, but let me just go ahead and ask officially who's ready to get started. Just put I'm ready. Let me see I'm ready in the chat. Let me see I'm ready while I'm sipping on this water. Okay. So question, why be a movement maker? Here's why. Here's why I believe you should become a movement maker and go all in on this. Burn the ships. Forget everything else you were thinking about trying to do. This is why I think you should be a movement maker. Because if you are a passionate, mission-driven entrepreneur that actually cares about the people that you serve, and you want financial freedom and fulfillment, If you want the income and the impact, then having a movement-based business is not only the quickest path. In 2021, please hear my heart, I think it's your best and maybe the only path. As if I can just keep it 100. I know right now so many of you struggle with feeling unseen. I know so many of you are struggling with hopelessness because you've tried all the things. You've tried all the things, the podcasts, the books, the YouTube channels, the this and the that and the blogging. And you've tried all the things and nothing has worked. And you're like, oh my God, is this ever going to happen for me? I'm starting to lose hope. And I understand. So I'm telling you right now, many of you, I'm preaching to the choir because you've already tried those things and you know it didn't get it done for you. So I'm telling you right now, as your coach, as your mentor, as your friend, this is the path, your best path, and the path, a proven path that I believe is going to increase your chance at success dramatically. And quite frankly, it's the only way I know how to do this. I don't know any other way. As you're going to see, the 3 businesses that we have launched from 0 to 7 figures, from 0 to $1 million a year and more in just the first 12 months, have all been built on this playbook. So this is all I know how to do. So I'm never going to talk to you about stuff I don't do and haven't done. So the path to success online, in my humble opinion, the income and impact that you want is only possible if you are willing to launch, grow, and scale your online business as a movement-based business. That's the big takeaway. So that's a writer downer saying, I am committed to being a movement maker. I will launch, I will grow, I will scale my company as a movement-based business. Well, Pedro, you haven't told me why. Well, let me tell you why. Well, I kind of told you some about why, right? I can tell you this. There's no way we'd have the results we'd have without this. There's no way. The challenge model is incredibly powerful. The challenge framework is, you're going to see, it is the #1 marketing framework today, and will be, I believe, next year and the year after that. You're going to see how powerful that marketing framework of the challenge model is. However, the challenge model, the challenge framework is a megaphone. It's an amplifier to your message, to your movement. And so if we don't figure out this movement-based component, then when we go to amplify your message, it will not stand out. It will not cut through the noise. It will not be attractive to your ideal customers. So this is the prerequisite. Guys, we've helped thousands of people learn our challenge framework. I can tell you, I know we see the evidence. We have the data. Nobody has coached and mentored more people in challenges than myself. I can tell you right now, I know why a challenge will crush it and why a challenge will flop. So I'm here sharing this with you out of real experience. And here's my promise to you. I will not waste your time. There will be not a minute of time wasted in here. I will not clutter your brain, overwhelm you with 54 brand new things you have to now go learn and do. No. That's what you've probably been doing, and that's why you're probably not where you want to be. Now, if that's just being real, then just drop a 100. If I just kept it 100 right there, if you've been going from thing to thing to thing to thing, trying all the things and still not where you want to be, and that's just being honest, just drop a 100. Be like, Pedro, 100. You just nailed me. And again, no blame, no shame. Guys, of course you're confused. Of course you're overwhelmed, because every week it's the new tip of the day. It's the new tip of the week. It's the new hot trend. Wouldn't it be wonderful to learn principles and strategies for communicating with human beings, with messaging and marketing and building a business that was built on principles that will never change? So when the next new thing comes out, you actually understand how to apply that thing, because you actually understand this whole game of life and business and marketing at a very deep level. Who would like to get a black belt in the game of business and marketing this week? Can we do that this week? So you can be free from the torment of going from thing to thing, the tyranny of the next thing. Guys, I'm never going to BS you. I'm going to tell you exactly what. So, and there's pros and cons to that. Some people like to be BS too. Gangsta Pete just came out. Sorry. I didn't warn you. Gangsta Pete is here. And no, I'm not channeling some other person. This is actually, I've got Gangsta Pete and Pedro. They're both inside of me. I really like both of these people. Some people like to be BS'd because it allows them to stay comfy and cozy in the delusional world they have created for themselves. I'm not going to do that this week. I have no interest in just entertaining you. I have no interest in just allowing you to hold on to thoughts, belief systems, and ideas that I know will not serve you. So I'm going to tell you exactly what I believe you need to do to win. Therefore, you can make a decision. I believe that our industry owes you the dignity of letting you know exactly what it's going to take. When I went to my trainer to get in better shape, I was like, bro, how are we going to do this? He's like, well, I'm going to train you 6 days a week. You're going to have to lift weights. I'm going to push you pretty hard. You're going to be sore. You're going to have to come here at this time. Then I'm going to have my wife make you some food. You're going to eat these meals. You can't eat everything you want to eat. So if you want to get in the shape you want to get in shape, Pedro, if you want to look the way you want to look, let me tell you what it's going to take, Pedro. You can't eat donuts every day like you want to. So same thing in this game. I'm going to tell you exactly what it takes so that you can decide, are you willing to do that or not? Because if not, then you can find another game to play, a different way to, so you can then orient yourself to what's really going to take. And I think many of you, this will bring massive freedom and peace to. I think many of you, can we just have some real talk? Because I know what this feels like. It wasn't that long ago. I was exactly in the same place. Some of you are just like wondering, like, am I ever going to figure this out? Like, is something just wrong with me? Is something just wrong with me? Because it seems like everyone is figuring this out. By the way, not true. And if these methods aren't working for me, many of you are feeling like a failure. Many of you are feeling something's wrong with you. And I'm here to tell you that I don't think there's anything wrong with you. I just think you have not been given the best path. I just think that you have not been told clearly exactly what this takes. And so can I again have your permission to do that this week? Here we go. And guys, well, Pedro, who makes you? Why are you so smarty pants? Smarty pants. Yep, I just said that. I'm dating myself. I am 46 years old. Smarty pants is things that 40-year-old people say sometimes. My bad. Okay, guys, I've done this not once, not twice, but now 3 times. First time, maybe you got lucky. Second time could have been a fluke. Guys, 3 times in a row? Come on. I think I've learned a few things. Success leaves clues. Do you agree with that statement? If you agree, just put in the chat. Agree. Agree. If you agree success leaves clues, can I share with you my best clues over these last 4 to 5 years that we've done this? Okay, so here's my question. Why are you here? Why are you here? Not just today on day one, because day one is like easy to come in day one. Like, oh man, let me see what this guy Pedro is up to. What's this whole thing all about? Getting on day one is not that difficult. My question to you is, why are you going to be here at the end of this thing? Why are you committed to fully going all in with us this week? Why? Who are you fighting for? What is the meaning behind your money? What is the impact you're looking to make with the income? For some of you, you're fighting for your home. For some of you, you're fighting to change zip codes because you want a better place for your kids. For some guys, I know this. The more clear you are about why you must be here and get these skills, the easier it will be for you to stay locked in and committed. So why are you here? And the real why, not the why that you just feel comfortable sharing, the real why. For me, the reason why I got into this, the reason why I felt led to go after all this is because I just felt I just wanted my life to matter. As a child, I had a very strange childhood in one sense. I had amazing parents. But as a child, for some reason, I was just afraid of dying. Like as a kid, I remember being like as early as like 8, 10, and all through my teenage years in high school, I would just lay in bed at night and I would just start thinking about dying. And then I would just feel trapped in my body and I would just start to kind of freak out. And I didn't know why. I was like, man, why am I? And so as I got older, I discovered I wasn't afraid of dying. I was afraid of never living at a level enough to know that my life would matter. And I'm telling you guys this right now, what I'm sharing with you this week, these frameworks, these communication patterns, these decisions that you make, you embrace this, you'll never have to worry about your life not mattering. The amount of impact that we get to make and the lifestyle that it brings. When you guys, I'm not here to have you just think you should be just chasing money. I don't chase money. I wouldn't encourage you to chase money. There's an ancient book of wisdom that says if you chase money, money will grow wings and fly away. What I am committed to is becoming a person of massive value and impact. And I just trust to know that the more impact I create in the world, then just income and money is attracted to me. And I'm going to have you consider adopting that for yourself. This is not about money so you can have fancy stuff, even though I have some fancy stuff. I kind of like nice stuff. You don't have to. You can be more simple. It's not about money for more stuff. This is about you being rewarded because of the impact that you're making. And then you can use those dollars however you want. Okay? So be very clear why you're here at the end and what promise are you making to yourself about this time. I made you some promises. I'm going to ask you to make yourself some promises. Okay? All right. So Pedro, here we go. Here we go. Let's do this. Air horn 1 already went off. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hope you guys are laughing at me a little bit. That's cool. All right, guys. So why be a movement maker? Aside from all the stats and the numbers and what I just told you about. Well, before you can think about being a movement maker, let me help you understand, like, what is a movement? How do you make a movement, Pedro? Because some of you are like, Pedro, I'm a chiropractor. Like, I'm an insurance agent, Pedro. Like, I build websites. Some of you are like thinking, Pedro, maybe you don't know what I do for a living. Like, I have no, like, some of you are like, how could I make a movement? I'm just a blank. Can you guys tell me if that's true? How many of you guys were wondering if, oh gosh, Pedro, I love this idea of being a movement maker, but it's not for me because I'm just can I tell you, you're not just anything. What you are is you are an amazing, unique creation made in the image of an incredible creator, the most incredible of all creators. You're not just anything. What you are is you are someone who was gifted and chosen to be born and alive for such a time as this. So with your permission, can you please put the I'm just a nonsense away for at least the next 7 days? Can you just tell that part of you, that false humility, that part that wants to keep you small? Well, I'm just, can we just tell that voice to shut up for the next 7 days and leave you alone so you can get some work done this week? Would that be okay? Now, all movements do have this one thing. They must have a cause. You must have a cause. You must have a cause. Pedro, again, what does that mean? Oh, hang tight. You must have a cause. Something that you are taking a stand for, something you're taking a stand against. Oh, Pedro, I get it. This is like the you know, the civil rights movement. There was a cause there. Yes, of course, it's like the civil rights movement, but your movement-based business doesn't have to deal with things on that scale. You're like, gosh, Pedro, this sounds like it's way bigger. Like these are like kind of more national or like, no. Of course, there are national movements. There are global movements. Your movement can be in your backyard. You're going to hear how my first movement was a movement in my local area. But you must have a cause that you are taking a stand for and against. Pedro, that sounds serious. Yeah, it is serious. You're going to have to take a stand, which means being bold, which means no jellyfish allowed. Backbone, spine, taking a stand. Pedro, does that mean I'm going to be rude and am I going to get canceled if I take a stand? I don't know. You don't have to, but take a stand for and against something. The people in your movement will then unite behind this shared interest and shared passion. If you don't have a cause, if you're not standing for something, then what are people going to connect to you around? Why will they be with you? Why will they want to follow you? Why will they connect to you? There is no unifying message or cause or scenario that they're fighting for with you. Movements are about uniting people with shared interest, shared passions that are all like-minded, that want to see the same thing happen in this world and in their world. And all movements must have a leader. Some have multi-leadership models, but a true movement transcends the leader. A true movement transcends the leader. And some of us, and I've had this journey myself, some of us just like things, like we kind of like to have a lid on things, and we're like, we want to feel like we're in control, and sometimes we got a little bit more ego than we think. I don't know. Guess who's learned that lesson a few times? This guy. I had a little bit more ego at times, and I realized you will not have a movement, a real movement, if you are full of yourself and full of pride. It won't last. It won't work. And I can tell you what's going to happen. You're going to have people coming for you, trying to knock you off your high horse. So to have a movement, you must be willing to not have to be the deal. Can't just be about you. Has to be about a cause bigger than you, which, by the way, is so much funner, because eventually it just kind of gets, it's just not so fun when it's all about you. How many guys are willing to make it not about you, to have powerful purpose in your life? And let me check in, guys. I've been going for about half an hour. How am I doing so far? Who is actually like, Pedro, I'm in the right place. I'm not sure how I got here, whether it was an ad or an email. I wasn't sure about this, but just a half an hour in, how many are like, I am so glad to be here? If you're glad to be here, can you just let me know? Just type in glad. Say, I'm just really glad I found my way into this challenge today, because this is speaking to me right now. So here are some must-haves. Movements must have passion. Hello. Movements must have passion. Well, Pedro, I'm not like you. You got crazy energy. You like to shout. I'm not like that. Guess what? You don't have to manifest passion the same way I do. There's not just one template of passionate leaders. I know many introverts who are deeply passionate, and their passion manifests different. So this is not here for you to be like having just to copy someone's personality, copy how someone shares their passion. You get to be you, but just a passionate version of you. That's what your movement wants and needs. There is a restlessness with the movement. There needs to be a restlessness, a sense of urgency that there is a problem that needs to get fixed. When? Now. Now, guys, now. What we have is now. So movements, there's a restlessness, there's an unsettling, because there's this problem, there's this situation, and we want to see resolutions and solutions. We want to overcome these things. There is a future. There is a future cause that we are committed to, and there's enough urgency that we're willing to take action now. People make decisions when? Now. When you present your cause, people say yes, now. That's what movements that have life, that grow, that are on fire, have this element. They bring people to a decision. They bring people to a decision. Just like I'm doing today, I'm bringing you to a decision to be a movement maker or not. And movements are typically built around eliminating a problem. There is a clearly articulated dissatisfaction. There is something that is out of alignment. There is something that is wrong. There is something that is unjust. There is something that we want to see changed for the better. So movements are all about belief in action. Belief in action. This is not just confessing words. This is not just empty words. This is not just reading a mission statement on the wall of a company and everyone knows that is full of garbage because no one lives it. This is about beliefs in action. Movements require movement. Movements require movement. Don't tell me what you believe. Show me what you believe. I should be able to see your life and see fruit and evidence that you are who you say you are. You are congruent. You are in integrity. You don't just have a message. You have become a messenger. And the one thing the most successful movements have, and this is very nuanced, this is at a deep level, this affects your soul. Successful, impactful movements are all about giving people a new identity. A new identity. A new identity. A new way of seeing themselves. Identity is so powerful because when we actually adopt an identity, our mind, our brain, our operating system, what it means to be a human being, we were wired to live in a way that is congruent with who we believe ourselves to be. We are naturally wired to think and act in a way in alignment with who we believe ourselves to be. And as a movement maker, you want to be very clear about what is the new identity you are giving the people that you serve. Pedro, how can I do this? Let's go. So I did this one time on purpose, one time on accident, and then one time on purpose again. So some of you may have started, like myself, accidental movements where you weren't trying to do anything at all. You were just doing something that kind of felt right. And before you know it, a movement emerged. Sometimes you're just out for a walk, living your life. This is so cool when this happens too. Sometimes you're out for a walk, you're living your life, just doing your thing. And then you just happen to look back and there's people following you. And you're like, hey, where'd you guys come from? They're like, oh yeah, like you're our leader. We're following you. We're like, what, really? Like, when did that happen? Like, I wasn't trying to do all that. So there is accidental movements that some of you may have started or be on the verge of starting. And how can that happen? One is if you're problem aware of this major problem that's been a problem for you, and then you get victory, you get breakthrough, you solve that problem, you take massive action, and then you're willing to and people are able to see you. People are able to see your transformation, see the change see who you've become. They may be like, well, man, I want a marriage like that. I want to look like that. I want a business like that. And all of a sudden there's people asking you for help, for mentoring. Hey, be my leader, be my coach, be my mentor. Like I saw how you used to be. I saw how you are now. And so literally just by taking action, for me, it was through just training online. I did a free 30-day class almost 3 years ago, May of 2018. I did a free masterclass, a concept I learned from the book Expert Secrets from Russell Brunson. I was going to be a guest on this challenge. I read this concept called the masterclass. I was like, oh, okay. Everybody was asking me about talking more about my journey as a faith-based entrepreneur and how I overcame depression, how I overcame being $3 million in debt, how I overcame battling suicidal thoughts for the better part of a year, how I overcame all of this huge catastrophe of a mess my life was in 8 years ago. Guys, I can tell you, if you would have met Pedro 8 years ago, you would have been not wanting to hang out with him for a minute, much less 5 days. My life was in complete, utter shambles. And yet, you know, people saw the journey that we were making and they're like, hey, so I was asked to start sharing. I got asked to come on a podcast. A friend of mine or two were like, Pedro, you should really talk more about your journey as a faith-based entrepreneur. I was like, okay. So I talked to my wife and I did a free 30-day masterclass. Had about a couple hundred people showed up. Was going to do just something, you know, kind of just for free. About 7-10 days in, I started getting DMs like crazy. Hey, bro, I don't know you from Adam for this challenge. And I don't know what you're selling at the end of this, but like, I'm in. Just send me the link. I don't care what it is, how much it is, I'm in. And I'm like, hey, there is nothing to be in. Like, I'm doing a 30-day class. When it's over, it's over. Like, I'm a financial planner. Like, I have a real day job. Like, I'm not trying to be some internet marketing teacher trainer. They're like, no, like, you're our leader now. You're our mentor. Like, you can't leave us now. I'm like, what do you mean you can't leave? Like, what do you like? So literally, guys, we launched our 100X Academy on an accident because I was aware of a problem. I got a victory. I had a breakthrough for myself. I took some action. I shared it with other like-minded people who were like me, and a movement just emerged. So I took a stand for a problem that I was very passionate about. In fact, you can say you may have a righteous anger about, or you hate. I did something about it. I didn't just say one day I'll write a book. I didn't just say one day later when I'm retired, or maybe one day when I get a break, or one day when I get discovered. No, I took action. I launched a 30-day free class, not knowing if anybody would show up. Start immediately. What's in your hand? You've got all you need to start. No, Pedro, how can you say that? Because I'm telling you right now, you have what you need to start. If you're watching me live, that means at least you got one of these. And if you got one of these, you got all you need. Let's go. Let's go. And just keep saying yes to the very next thing, the very next thing. That's what I did, guys. And we ended up with an incredible movement-based business that's changed my life forever. That within a matter of months became the #1 training program and community in the niche. And I'm going to tell you more about that. So now for you all that are here, you're actually going to get to do this on purpose. See, what I had to learn on accident, not even knowing I was doing it, I got to look back now and say, oh, that's how we did that? Oh, okay. So you guys get to actually now do this on purpose, which means I'm going to have you become movement aware up front. So you can be intentional. You can make great decisions. You can define your movement kind of as best you can up front. And then you can take massive action to have your movement grow much faster. So permission, a Gangsta P might show up. Gangsta P might show up because this is a mindset moment. This is a movement maker mindset moment. Hashtag MMMM, 4 M's. I love alliteration if you can't tell. Gangsta P might show up. Here we go. Would you like to know what I believe is the #1 mindset mistake that is keeping 99% of entrepreneurs stuck, frustrated? I believe many of you on this training right now, live and watch the replay, I believe if you're not living the life you want, I believe this is the #1 reason why. Can I share that with you today? Right now. Here's what it is. I believe it's an unwillingness to make decisions. Let me say it again for the people in the back. Unwillingness to make decisions. The only reason why you're stuck is because you're not moving forward. And the only reason you're not moving forward is because you're probably unwilling to make a decision about what your next step should be. So I'm going to encourage you that during these next 5 days, I'm going to challenge you to make decisions. I'm going to tell you right now, all of my friends and colleagues, people I know who are successful, they have gotten very good at making decisions, not out of haste, but swift decisions. They get the facts they need, then they get the facts, they trust their gut, and they go. And they know that if they make a mistake, here we go, Pedro, well, why are so many people unwilling to make decisions? Because so many people are paralyzed by the fear of making a mistake. And in being so paralyzed by the fear of making a mistake, they don't make a decision, which means they don't move forward, which is the biggest mistake they can make, the mistake of staying still. I don't know a single entrepreneur, I don't know a single person that we look up to or admire that is not okay making mistakes. We don't make mistakes on purpose. We don't try to mess things up. But sometimes we don't get it right. And you know what? You can find out faster by making a decision, going, and then you can course correct. So if you're like, Pedro, I feel like I'm stuck, here's why you're stuck. And just tell me if I'm right or wrong. If I'm right, let me see 100 in the chat. Drop 100, put a fire in here, just say, Pedro, you're right. I feel stuck because I'm unwilling to make a decision. Because I'm afraid if I get it wrong, then what? Then what? Then you'll know you're wrong and you'll course correct. I know people who have been thinking about something for 3 months, 6 months, 3 years. They could have found out in 3 days if they got off their butt and did something. Come on, guys. Ancient Book of Wisdom says this: the days are evil. This clock don't stop for nobody. We can't waste our lives like this anymore. Come on. Can't do it. And here's the second mistake I see people making. The second mistake. Equally as big, but the second mistake. I talked about this in the intro call. I see too many people trying to wear Saul's armor to battle. Saul's armor. Pedro, what the heck is Saul's armor? There's a longer story about this. It's about the story of David and Goliath, which every single one of you have heard about this story. When David rose up to take on this giant Goliath that every grown-ass man was afraid to fight, this shepherd boy, a young teenage boy, says, I'll fight him. I'll fight him. And then so they put on the captain of the army, the king, Saul, said, well, here's my armor, here's my sword. He gave his armor, which like Goliath is wearing armor. He's got a shield. He has a sword. They try to give David Saul's armor to go into battle, and David put it on. And he's like, man, what the heck is this? He didn't know how to walk in this armor. He didn't know how to swing that sword. He's like, hey, I can't do this. He's like, get this stuff off me. He's like, I'm good. I got 5 stones. I got these 5 stones. I got this slingshot. And when nobody was looking, all these years, I've been taking care of these sheep. Because you guys didn't see any value in me. So you guys put me out with the stupid sheep. But while I was out there with these stupid sheep, you know what I did? I killed some bears. I killed some wolves with this slingshot. So keep your sword, keep your shield, keep your armor. I'm going to take this down. I'm going to take out this giant my way. I'm telling you right now, a lot of you guys are trying to use Saul's armor. Trying to copycat people, mimic people, modeling people. Ain't going to work. You're not going to win. You're not going to win playing someone else's game. At best, you're going to be a half-ass, knock-off version. Why would you want to do that? So I believe this week, if you're willing, will you let me help you discover your slingshot? Because you have a slingshot. There's something in your past, in your history. There are skill sets. There are experiences. There are battles and victories won. There are things that you could be pulling out from your past, from your experiences that you are not valuing enough. You see, David had the wisdom to value his slingshot over a sword, even though that looks like something only an idiot would do. But he knew that I know how to use this slingshot. I don't know how to swing this sword. So guys, here it is. Here's my 3-step framework on how we're going to do this. And this is what we're going to do between now and Friday. Tomorrow, I'm going to help you understand that you are called to your world, not the world. And I'm going to help you discover that there is a micro niche of people waiting for you right now. There's a micro niche of people that will let you lead them, let you serve them, but only if you can show up in a way that they can identify you, relate with you, and you have to speak their language the way that they say it. It's a micro niche. Pedro, what's a micro niche? I heard there's riches in the niches. Yeah, there used to be riches in the niches. Not anymore. This game got too big. Now, you want to have income and impact, you better carve a micro niche. The second thing we're going to do, so that's going to be tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're going to start talking about movement-based messaging. How to actually speak and create powerful messaging, sales copy, advertising that takes your business and takes you from being a business owner, entrepreneur, and turns it into a on fire movement. And then on Thursday, I'm going to show you guys why you must learn how to crush it with challenges. That this is the #1 marketing method of successful entrepreneurs and movement makers in 2020 and 2021 and beyond. How many guys are like, oh my, that's going to be an incredible week? How many guys are here and you're saying, okay, Pedro, I'll keep it 100, bro. I just came for today to see what this was about, but like, I'm in, like, I'm here, like, I'm not missing a minute of this thing. Just let me know if you actually now just know that this is going to be incredibly valuable for you and you're locked in, okay? So, guys, I'm going to land the plane. I'm going to skip through all kinds of stuff here. I'll have to do that tomorrow. I'm going to do this tomorrow. Don't even worry about this. Don't la, 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 la. Okay, here we go. Your assignment for today. Pedro, assignment? What do you mean assignment? Yes, assignment. Your work, your application. Don't waste this hour. Don't waste this hour by just listening and taking notes. Pedro, I took some great notes. I'm sure you did. But don't just let it be notes on a page. Now it's time to take action. Here's some questions. And I'm sure, Holly, I hope by now you dropped that worksheet. Guys, we have a challenge worksheet for you. Holly will drop that somewhere in the chat. We're going to put it in the description. Grab that worksheet. Here's the questions I want you to answer. What is your cause? What are you willing to take a stand for and against? So let me give you an example. With my financial business, my very somewhat boring brick and mortar retirement planning business, I took a stand for my clients. A stand for them and a stand against the mainstream conventional investment industry that abuses financial consumers, in my opinion. I believe that most people in retirement and most people in general have no idea how their money works. They have no idea, and I can prove this, how much they're being charged in fees. They have no idea how much risk they're taking. When they ask questions of their financial advisor, they either get ignored, don't get a call back, or they get an answer in financial mumbo jumbo so that people never really know what the hell is going on with their money. I don't think that's right. I don't think someone who spent 30, 40 years to save up their money should talk to someone who's unwilling to help them understand exactly what's happening with their money. So I took a stand for that. I wrote a book called Retired and Free, where I wrote in plain, simple English that an 8th grader could understand. I took a stand for that with that financial business. And people were like, yes, this is my guy. You're my dude, man. You're the first guy who I can work with who actually makes me not feel like an idiot. People don't want to feel dumb. Then I did it with 100X. I took a stand. I took a stand for people that wanted to pursue God passionately, that wanted to have a very rich spiritual life, but also wanted to do big things in business. I took a stand for that. And now I'm taking a stand for you to help you succeed and win in this very crazy, noisy world by helping you understand movement making and challenges. Question number 2, what problem or challenge are you helping your people overcome? There must be a problem or challenge there must be something that they don't want, and there must be a future desired outcome they do want. What is that? What problem are you solving? How are you practically, specifically helping your people? And last question, what new identity are you going to give the people in your movement? With my first movement-based business, the identity was, I am retired and free. Guys, I was giving people 55 and up, 60 and up, 70 and up. They would say this, Pedro, because of you, I'm now retired and free. I'm free from stress. I'm free from worry. I'm free from anxiety. Do you know that the number one fear of retirees is running out of money? Can you imagine going to bed every night afraid you're going to go broke before you die? So we took a stand for that, and we helped people, and they would say, Pedro, I am retired and free. With 100X, we took a stand, and we gave them a new identity. I said, hey, why just be a Christian in business? That sucks. You should be a kingdom entrepreneur. And then, boom, now people are like, I am a kingdom entrepreneur. I am my people in that movement, they identify as kingdom entrepreneurs. And now in this, with our third movement-based business, what's the identity I want you guys to have? I crush challenges. I crush it with challenges. I crush it with challenges. How many of you are here because you want to crush it with challenges and have the life of income and impact you believe you deserve and that you're called to have? So guys, that's the questions. Now, we're about to go backstage. We're about to go backstage. Guys, backstage is going to be ridiculous. As I told you, we have had over 1,000 people sign up, which means those first 1,000 people got shipped out some swag and a copy of my friend John Lee Dumas's book, who's literally waiting for me to jump backstage and kick off VIP right now. But guess what? We only got 1,000 books. So right now, we're out of books. However, thankfully my team, I was going to just about take credit for something I didn't do. My team, Shalimar, said, hey, let's get 2,000 just in case. I was like, okay. Guys, we have 2,000 swag bags for you. And so it's not too late. If you have not yet joined VIP, I can assure you right now, if you have liked what happened here, you are going to absolutely lose your mind for the value in VIP. I have only people here who are movement makers, impact players. It's going to be practical, hands-on implementation time in the backstage. So you still have time to join us. We're going to be going there in a second. That's at movementmaker.com/VIP 2021. And so, final assignment, recap. Make sure you went to movementmaker.com, or else you're kind of just, watching through the window. Don't watch through the window when you could be in the family. Movementmaker.com is where you sign up. Text me to 949-506-5866. Guys, it's your day one homework. Well, Pedro, should I do all this? I don't know. Do you want breakthrough? I don't know. Are you for real about this? Are you in it to win it? Then you would do all these things. Text me at that number. Go VIP. Go VIP right now to not miss a second of this. Did you get your challenge, buddy? And guys, for the homework, we have a special thing this year. It's at crushitlab.com. We have an automated system available for you to help you serve up the questions to you, where you're going to get to work with Gangsta P himself at crushitlab.com. So you're gonna check that out. If you want to see how that works, go to crushitlab.com for your homework assignment, and then you're gonna go live in the Facebook group, and I want to hear, what was your biggest takeaways from today, and how did you answer the questions on your worksheet? So with that, folks, I'm gonna wrap it up. This concludes day 1 of the Movement Maker 2021 Challenge. I cannot wait to spend the next 4, 5, 6 days with you guys. Thank you for being here. I am humbled. I'm honored that you would take time to show up live to receive this training. And as you can tell, guys, it's only going to build. It's only going to build from here. And so again, congratulations on being here. Good on you for showing up. And I cannot wait to see all that happens over the coming days as we journey together in this incredible transformational journey of becoming a movement maker. We're going to go right now straight to VIP, and we'll be back here live tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 Eastern, for day 2 of this incredible movement making challenge. Love you guys so much. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.